Hello everyone, Linker here, joined by Grub and Mischief for this hero analysis for Numisu. Say hi guys.
Hey there, I'm Grub, Inquisitors GM, Chapter 33, and I'm the information half of Grub's guides on Reddit.
Hello, I'm Mischief. I'm currently at Chapter 32, and I'm the visual designer of Grub's guides. I also enjoy data mining and, occasionally, long walks on the beach.
In this video we'll go over Numisu. We will skim at him and his abilities, we'll look into his signature item and furniture, as well as the scaling and damage potential he has. We'll look at Numisu's campaign and arena synergies, and some advanced unknown tips about him. Stay tuned for those. Numisu is a Mauler mage. He's known for being an iconic summoner hero, putting many totems throughout the fight. You can see that through his kit, his ultimate healing 2 heroes, prioritizing the front line and damage enemies near them. His second ability places a healing totem, healing for a static amount and 3% flat health per second for each ally, making him work great with high health allies. This totem goes behind allies and isn't very tanky. His offensive totem is significantly tankier. It deals some damage when placed and taunts enemies for 2 seconds, allowing for some disruption. Quick quiz, another hero has this. You're right, that's Gorvo. One of his most overlooked abilities is his fanaticism buff. It goes on the highest attack ally like Rosaline, giving 50 haste and 30% attack speed for 12 seconds, both stacking cumulatively. Stay tuned for special ways to use this skill too. Now I'll hand this over for Mischief to introduce his signature item and furniture.
So, let's talk about Numisu's signature item and his furniture abilities. Numisu's SI, like all others, have 4 different stages, unlocked at level 1, 10, 20 and 30. Let's begin with his basic signature skill. This will place an offensive totem in the center of the battlefield at the start of the fight. Now normally, offensive totems are always placed behind an enemy, but by having it placed in the center, it provides some useful distraction at the start of the battle, as the frontline enemies will be forced to attack it for a period of time. His plus 10 sets down an additional totem, this one being a rejuvenating one behind your team's back line. This speaks for itself. Keeping your heroes as healthy as possible during the start of the fight can help tip the balance against some of the more bursty formations out there, especially when they are already being distracted by the offensive totem. Both the plus 20 and 30 effect increase the health of Numisu's totems by 40 and 100% respectively. This is perfect for keeping the initial totems and the subsequent ones alive for as long as possible. Considering the offensive totem also gains 650% of Numisu's attack rating as HP, this can keep enemies entertained for quite some time. Now let's briefly get into his furniture abilities. When you have his 3 out of 9 ability unlocked, his ultimate will now heal up to 2 summoned totems, which will all take on their normal effects again. His 9 out of 9 ability also heals the weakest unhealed ally, as well as up to 4 of his totems. In short, that's a lot of healing. Grub is going to further expand on this in the next section.
I'm here to talk about the damage dealing potential of Numisu's ult with his furniture. The numbers might surprise you. It deals 260% of his attack rating in an AoE from every ally who gets healed by his ult. Usually, this is the first 2 frontliners and the top ally in the backline at 9 out of 9. He can proc that AoE from 3 allies and 4 totems for a maximum total of 1820% of his attack rating. This, however, is spread out damage from separate hits across the map from several smaller AoEs, so the actual damage on a specific target is likely to be much lower without a lot of grouping. Though when used in sets he's common with, like Skriath and Eron, it's likely to be around 4 to 5 AoEs, which is 1040 to 1300%. He's even often used with Lawson, who buffs his ult's damage by 270%. To put that in context, a fully charged Saphir ult is 660% of her attack. That means this has twice the attack rating scaling as even a Saphir ult. So the numbers really are there for this to deal good damage, even as a support character.
Now for his campaign, arena and synergies, experienced players have put Numisu to the test, using him both in PvP as well as PvE, albeit we believe he isn't as common as he should be. Against players, he's used mostly for his signature item and offensive totem Disruption, usually seen alongside Screg. He uses his signature item to taunt offensive characters out of their combo fast. His buff as well as his healing and damage really kick in if the fight goes on. The same is true for Campaign and King's Tower, also for Factional Tower where he's usually seen with pure Maulers or Gwyneth or with Aaron, but as flex values on other sets as well. He synergizes well with Namora passive healing boost. He works great even during invulnerability stages like Satrana's Dance and goes usually with Screg there too. Now for some quick unknown tips you might have not known about him. His signature item Haste changes his skill order due to haste and cooldowns. The threshold for that is about 40 haste, which is why I put him on 30 and put him with Laika and other heroes like that to buff him just past that so you can see how much benefit you can rip off for getting Numisu past 40. Now I'll repeat this a couple times so you can catch it here in replays, but furniture or artifacts could achieve the same effect, making him use his buff quicker. Now you really want him to use his buff quick, that is almost a Laika effect, even higher on a single ally, making him a very high utility hero. Second tip would be the favorite artifacts are Call, Eye, Conviction or Blade on him, but if purely supportive you can use the defensive ones too. Third, totems are great soaking single target damage engages like Rosaline, so make sure if you see that in the campaign, Numisu might be a hero you want to keep an eye for. Fourth, due to some more active time, he has a good matchup against Solis, so if you see totems engaging with enemies that summon allies like Beta and stuff like that, he has good matchups against them because his totems are pretty active and stack up to area of effect damage, usually getting the upper hand in those matches. Did you also know for the fifth fact that the necklace around his neck is a lab artifact? It's called Carnal Desire, check it out, it does lifesteal. Sixth fact would be that it's also good to disrupt heavy damage fast sometimes with him, like Athalia might sometimes have a hard time running into his totems, even at high deficit, so keep an eye for that kind of synergy. Lastly for the seventh fact, totems can rarely help certain enemies, especially in PvP, like Ezio starts snowballing once he gets an easy kill, so make sure that if you do go in PvP you keep an eye for enemies that really benefit from killing. And with that, I'd like to thank you Mischief and Grub for joining me on this one, check them out on Reddit, link below, and shout out to Inquisitors. Peace.